afternoon, the COT data video for the week beginning the 4th of August 2025. We saw some pretty crazy price action yesterday on the dollar, and it was really to do with the revision on the NFP number, and it was actually heavily revised down. And what's actually happened is that Trump's looking, or has fired, the commissioner of the Labour Statistics, the lady who's responsible for publishing the NFP numbers. She's been fired or is in the process of being sacked. So in a way, you can understand that Trump's done that because she was appointed by Biden. So he's probably a little bit paranoid, thinking that she's not going to be impartial. And she's actually wavering towards like a Democrat sort of viewpoint, and anti-Republican, anti-Trump. So he got a little bit paranoid, I think, and so she's gone, and so her replacement should be a little bit better, perhaps, and the numbers will be a bit more accurate, because what we've seen over the last few years, NFP numbers come out and they're always revised, so we're never sure what to think at the time, and it's always, we see reversals and things like that. So it looks like we're going to get a new head of those Labour statistics. And Trump probably just got a little bit paranoid, but I can kind of understand why he fired her, because he's thinking that she's got a bias, but she's probably completely unbiased, to be honest. Anyway, so we saw a strong yen and a weak dollar, and we had that forecast from last week. I put a little arrow on the yen. We'll have to see what happens. I haven't seen this data yet. This is the first time I've seen it. So we have seen a weak dollar. Well, it's basically gone sideways. We can't really say it's particularly weak. We can't really say it's particularly strong. It's just gone sideways. But if we continue in this zero, below zero, we may start dwindling. We may start going lower. And then we can see things tick higher. So it's worth noting that, we are negative. We may move lower there. So we move lower on the euro as well. It's worth noting. But we had such a big move on the dollar yesterday. It's a little bit bonkers. So perhaps when we come to look at this next week, we'll probably see quite a move on the dollar. So really a little bit of a movement here, a tiny movement here, but next week will be more telling. Let's look at the yen, because that had forecast a move, and we've actually moved slightly more downside. So we had that little tick up and then it fell. So likewise, like I said, we're probably going to see more revealing data when we have a look at it on Friday or on the weekend. So we've actually moved quite high. Yeah, we moved quite a way off that high. But looking at the price action on Friday, this is probably going to come up, okay? Euro, Aussie. Aussie is just chopping sideways. We did break that low, and we're just gone slightly higher than the week prior. 81,000 to 78,000. So it is what it is. We might be range bound in this horrible chop. So we have to wait and see, won't we? We also had a very risk off day as well. The VIX was up 20%, which is absolutely bonkers. And because we're risk off, there's probably less demand for the Australian dollar because it's sensitive to risk on, risk off. And don't forget, we had a big, humongous day on copper, and that correlates to the Australian dollar. We had a 20% move in a single day on copper. So that probably should impact the Aussie, and we may see that move lower as well. Aussie off, pound on. Yeah, I thought this was going to be the case. Watch these lows, like I've been saying for a while. If we break these lows, it's going to be bearish, okay? And we've had the GU set up for a sell. All right, so perhaps look at that when the market's open. But remember, this doesn't factor in that humongous revision from the NFP. So this data is from Tuesday. Okay, so we're probably going to see a weakness in the pound, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, and watch out for these lows. If these lows break, we're going to be quite heavy. And it's not necessarily pound USD, but pound across its peers. Okay, so be a little bit careful there. CAD's been a bit weird. Yeah, it looks like we tried to break that high, and it was nope, and then it went higher, and it's sort of like going nope again. We're back below that high, So it's a very mixed picture. In a way, we'd kind of want it above zero, and we get some clarity because we're currently below zero and we're more negative than the week prior. So could be bearish on CAD. So yeah, and also don't forget we had the tariffs as well. We had a humongous announcement of rolling tariffs that's going to in fact impact the Canadian dollar. So lots of things, lots of macro moving the markets right now. So we've got to be careful and trade safely. So likewise, this is likely going to do that, isn't it? Because we had a 2% move yesterday. And also, I asked Grok, the last time we rallied 2%, what happened on the day following? We always have a positive day on the day after a 2% move. So that's worth noting. I asked Grok to look at the last 5 days, last 5 times, sorry. And of those 5 times, when we rally 2% in a single day, the following day we're positive. So don't look for a reversal the following day, look for continuation. And then on the day after, we'll see a little bit of weakening. Right, just a little bit of a heads up in case you think, oh, this is a stop run, we're going to fall. Not necessarily the case. We'll probably have a big stop run, but we'll see a little bit of continuation. So that's important. So if we have a 2% move, 5 out of 5 times, the last 5 times, we've rallied the next day. Okay, so don't be too bearish on gold when we open on Monday. Okay, so that's why AI is really good. You can ask it things like that. New Zealand dollar. And just chopping sideways. There's no clarity on there at all. We want it above that. We kind of want it below that. We're not, with the sideways. And likewise with the Swiss franc. We're going to be sideways on that, and we are. So I'm going to wrap up now, and hopefully you didn't hear too much noise out my window. There's lots of vans moving around and car doors slamming shut and stuff. So hopefully you didn't hear that. And just be careful next week because we could be risk off. And if we look at the QDB sheet, we're going a little bit towards risk off on our risk calculation. So remember to check your Discord. Everybody's open to this. It's not for members only, it's for the public. So as long as you're a member of Discord, you can get access to the daily bulletin. Okay, and that's it. So I'll wrap up now. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm away on Monday, but I'll be back on Tuesday. I'll speak to you soon.